Moonlight filtered through the latticed windows of her Gungju quarters, casting bars of shadow across the silk-draped Kang. Wei knelt before her, summoned after a court banquet where she'd watched him from afar, laughing with the other low nobles, oblivious to how his ease ignited her rage. "You remember my mother?" she said quietly, no question in it. He stiffened. "Highness, that was the past," she finished. "Yes, the past where you accused an innocent woman to hide your carelessness, where your word sent her to the bamboo until she breathed no more." His head bowed lower. "I was a boy, foolish, I regret." "Regret?" She rose, circling him slowly, her phoenix-embroidered robe whispering like accusations. The Banner household's inner courtyard echoed with the sharp crack of a command. Young Master Wei, barely 14, but already wielding the petty authority of an heir, had discovered a missing jade pendant from his chamber, stolen, he claimed, by one of the kitchen servants. Zhao Ling's mother, a frail Han woman who had bought her daughter's bond service with her own labor years earlier, was dragged before the Lord. "She was seen near the ruins," Wei insisted, his voice steady despite the flush on his cheeks. He had misplaced the pendant himself in a childish game, but pride sealed his lips. The Lord, trusting his son's word, ordered the standard punishment for theft: 50 strokes of the heavy bamboo, enough to cripple or kill. Zhao Ling watched from the shadows, frozen as her mother collapsed after the 20th blow, blood staining the stones. Later that night, Wei found Zhao Ling scrubbing the courtyard alone, tears mixing with the soapy water. "It had to be done," he said, awkward but unrepentant. "Thieves undermine the household." She looked up, eyes burning. "She was no thief!" He knelt beside her, close enough that his breath warmed her neck. "I know now. The pendant turned up. But justice must appear swift." He placed a hand on her shoulder. "Comfort, possession. I'll protect you from now on." Her heart twisted, hatred like poison, love like the only warmth she'd known. She leaned into his touch, hating herself more. Moonlight filtered through the latticed windows of her Gungju quarters, casting bars of shadow across the silk-draped Kang. Wei knelt before her, summoned after a court banquet where she'd watched him from afar, laughing with the other low nobles, oblivious to how his ease ignited her rage. "You remember my mother?" she said quietly, no question in it. He stiffened. "Highness, that was the past," she finished. "Yes, the past where you accused an innocent woman to hide your carelessness, where your word sent her to the bamboo until she breathed no more." His head bowed lower. "I was a boy, foolish, I regret." "Regret?" She rose, circling him slowly, her phoenix-embroidered robe whispering like accusations. "Yet you never confessed. You let me grieve alone, then promised protection as if it erased the blood." She stopped behind him, fingers hovering near his collar, not touching, but close enough to feel his tremor. "I hated you then. Hated how your voice could kill without a blade. And even as I scrubbed her blood from the stones, I wanted your hand on my shoulder again, your worthless comfort." He turned his head slightly, eyes meeting hers in the dim light. "What do you want now?" She crouched, breathing, mingling with his. "Everything. Your service, your shame, your devotion, twisted as mine was." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "You are my revenge, Wei, and my curse. The one man I cannot fully hate, because some broken part of me still craves you." He reached tentatively for her hand. She allowed it, gripping hard enough to bruise. In that grasp, love's remnant, hatred's fire. Canlong Empire's grand hall thrummed with the clink of porcelain and the murmur of Manchu nobles. Princess Zhu Ying sat among the high-ranked women, her gaze fixed on Wei across the room, now her attendant, but disguised as a minor official for propriety's sake. He caught her eye. During a lull, a faint smile crossing his lips, old familiarity now laced with wariness. She excused herself to a side alcove, knowing he would follow. When he arrived, bowing discreetly, she pulled him behind a painted screen.
"Smile for them,"
she murmured.
"but remember, every laugh you share with another is a debt to me."
Jealousy coiled in her chest, not for lovers, but for the ease he stole from her life.
"You took my mother to preserve your pride. Now I take your freedom to reclaim mine."
He stepped closer. Protocol be damned. And yet, you keep me near. Why not banish me? Her hand pressed to his chest, feeling the rapid heartbeat beneath silk.
"Because banishment would end it. I want you to suffer as I did, loving the one who destroys you."
She leaned in, lips near his ear.
"You are my love, Wei, the kind that poisons slowly."
He captured her wrist gently.
"And let me atone."
She pulled away, but not before the touch lingered, spark of the old fire, now fueling her control. Dawn crept over the Forbidden City's rooftops as Wei knelt by her bedside, having stood vigil all night after a fabricated infraction, spilling ink on a scroll, a mirror of past clumsiness. Exhaustion etched his face. "Highness, please, end this." She sat up, silk sheets pooling like blood.
"And what? The game you started when you let my mother die for your lie?"
Tears tracked his cheeks, rare, scattering. "I was wrong. Kill me if you must." She cupped his face, thumbs brushing the wetness away, tenderness warring with triumph.
"Death is too kind. I want you alive, feeling every contradiction I felt, hating me for the chains, loving me for the mercy I dangle."
He leaned into her palm, eyes closing. "I do. Both." She pulled him closer, forehead to forehead, a moment of vulnerability before the mask returned.
"Good. Then we are even. My revenge is your prison, my love your torment."
In that dawn light, hatred and desire blurred into something eternal, unbreakable. Thank you for sticking to the end and listening to this epic fantasy story. Do not forget to click the link in the description to give some love to the author. Go and check out some of their other works. I know they would appreciate it. So if you have any stories you want to share, feel free to email me, DM me on Twitter, or any other social media. All my links are in the description. So until next time, collect those stories, because you never know when they'll be your saving grace.